Jake's gonna be so surprised when he sees me.
Hey, Peralta, you made it.
Don't you love it when the Brooklyn 99 squad goes on a vacation? Be it Las Vegas or Miami, they still take their undercover missions along. Doug was excitedly telling Jake about his upcoming bachelor party. He mentioned that he's having it tomorrow night and really wanted Jake to be there. Doug explained that they'd make up a criminal list so that Jake could meet anyone. Jake thought that it sounded super cool, but didn't want Doug's pity. Doug shrugged and assured Jake it was going to be one sexy weekend. Jake, curious about the details, asked how exciting it would be. Doug described private jets to Miami and a red carpet, but Jake interrupted, telling Doug to forget the red carpet because the private jet was all he needed. Doug agreed, saying the jet was definitely the highlight. Jake couldn't contain his excitement, shouting, "Miami, here we come." So in this funny episode, Jake joins Doug, Judy's bachelor party in Miami, expecting a fun time, but things get crazy when they find out Doug's friend accidentally stole something from the hotel. Now Jake and Doug have to do a reverse steal to fix the problem and avoid trouble. Meanwhile, Captain Holt comes back as the precinct boss, but Terry loses an important card. While Holt deals with being back in charge, everyone else argues about whether to get a new vending machine. It's a mix of serious detective work and silly office drama that makes the episode really funny. Jake finds out that Doug Judy is getting married but didn't invite him because his criminal friends wouldn't like having a cop around. To make up for it, Judy invites Jake to his bachelor party in Miami, but Jake has to pretend that he's a crook. In Miami, Jake meets Judy's shady friends, even rubbing elbows with Mark Cuban. Things get wild when they realise Judy's sister Trudy, who just got out of jail, almost blows Jake's cover. They manage to buy her silence, but then Judy's crew drops a bomb. They stole $10 million in diamonds from Russians. Jake's cover's blown, so Judy decides that they need a reverse heist to return the diamonds before things get worse. They succeed, but Jake calls Miami cops on Judy's pals, disappointing Doug, who refuses to let Jake leave on the private jet that he promised. Back at the precinct, Captain Holt's back but flips when he finds his old business card missing. Terry accidentally throws it out but tries to cover it up with a new card. Holt realizes that it's not the same and feels like a failure. To cheer him up, Terry and Rosa get him new cards from people that he's helped. Meanwhile, Amy, Boyle, Hitchcock and Scully debate getting a new vending machine. They finally get one, but it causes a blackout. Boyle reveals the upside: they can now punch it for free snacks. Check out this scene now.
Private jet to Miami, baby!
And there's a red carpet!
Forget the red carpet! Private jet!
Yes, and the jet! The jet is better! Miami, here we come! Woo!
In the episode that has the upcoming scene, Jake gets injured chasing a suspect and is ordered to rest while he heals. Instead, he convinces Boyle to join him for a vacation in Atlantic City. But surprise! It turns out they're actually tracking down the suspect there. Meanwhile, Holt and Kevin host a dinner to meet Rosa and Marcus, but things get complicated. Amy and Gina's subway delay makes them miss the dinner, so that they decide to party instead. Later on, Jake and Boyle head to what they think's a fancy hotel for their Atlantic City Dudes Club trip, only to find out that it's a rundown motel. Jake confesses that they're actually on a detective mission, disappointing Boyle, who'd expected a real vacation. Terry shows up unexpectedly thanks to Boyle spilling the beans. They chase the suspect, but Jake gets hit by a police car, landing him in hospital. At the hospital, Jake opens up to Terry about feeling guilty for a past case that he left unfinished. After some advice, Jake decides to truly relax and take a real trip to Atlantic City with Boyle to make up for their misadventures. Meanwhile, Holt plans a dinner where Kevin wants to meet Rosa and Marcus. Amy and Gina's mishaps lead to chaos at the dinner, but Rosa's abrupt exit leads to a revelation. The next day, she's not pregnant after all. She thanks Holt for the dinner, bringing a surprising end to the evening's drama. Let's now check out a scene from this episode.
We will, because we're staying at
The Ravenna!
Jake, this is not the Ravenna.
No, it is not.
In this funny episode, Jake and Amy go on their honeymoon to a Mexican beach resort. But guess who's there too? A depressed Captain Holt. He's taking a break after losing his title as commissioner. Holt's sadness starts to rain on the honeymoon parade, moping around during their dinners, swims and even spa time. Amy, being the thoughtful one, suggests including Holt in their activities to cheer him up. Things take a hilarious turn when Jake discovers Holt's plans to quit the NYPD. In a wild move, Jake locks Holt in the hotel room to talk some sense into him. But when Amy, dressed up for a sexy roleplay as Holly Gennaro McClane from Die Hard, walks in, she's in for a shock. They end up tying Holt to the bed to prevent him from leaving, trying to convince him not to quit. When Jake and Amy return from their eventful honeymoon, they find out Holt has stirred up trouble by rebelling against a new policing initiative. In response, their entire precinct gets crammed into the bullpen, leaving them shocked and amused at the chaos. Check out this scene to know what we're talking about.
I don't even want cheese.
No, Jake, in the lounge.
Captain Holt?
Peralta?
In this episode, Captain Holt sends Jake and Amy on a work trip to deal with a criminal. Meanwhile, Holt asks Boyle to teach him how to cook breakfast for his anniversary with Kevin. However, Holt struggles with the cooking lessons and ends up storming out. Jake plans a romantic weekend at a bed and breakfast and invites Sophia along. He also invites Teddy, not realizing that Amy was planning to break up with him. During dinner, tensions rise when Amy ends things with Teddy due to his behavior. This upsets Sophia, who leaves Jake trying to make things right with Sophia afterwards. Holt later apologizes to Boyle and reveals that he read Boyle's cooking blog. He successfully recreates the meal Kevin and he had on their first anniversary, making things right with Boyle.
I want to break it up. I want to break us up.
Where are the cops partying next? Now you can watch Jake and Amy win tickets for a week-long cruise and decide to go. To their surprise, they discover Doug Judy's the ship's entertainer, hiding from an assassin. They can't arrest him because they're in international waters, and the captain won't help either. Doug explains that he's being chased by a hitman, and they decide to set a trap using Doug as bait. They catch the hitman, but Doug escapes, leaving his cabin to Jake and Amy.
Seagulls, check. The ocean, check. A gang of oldies in short shorts, check, check, check. We are definitely on a cruise.
Captain Holt announces the precinct will attend a cops convention in Rochester, New York. The squad gets excited for partying, but Holt reveals that they're really there so that he can run for a position in an NYPD group. At the convention hotel, Holt meets his rival Jeffrey Boucher, who seems nice but is also running for the same position. The next day, after a wild party where Jake takes charge, they have to cover up their hangovers when Holt comes looking for his laptop. They manage to distract him long enough to avoid suspicion. When Holt discovers the laptop slides were swapped with party photos by Jeffrey, he's hurt that he wasn't invited. To make it up, the squad takes him to a thermometer museum he'd been wanting to visit, making things right between them. Watch the hilarious scene from this episode.
What a thermometer. Look at the mercury reservoir on that, Mamacita. Oh, Peralta, this is amazing.
In this episode, Jake and Rosa are in a case involving a stolen laptop from their beloved TV show Serve and Protect, which distracts Jake a lot. Meanwhile, Holt and Boyle turn to blackmail to save the precinct from closure. Check out this scene from the episode.
Listen, fellas, if you think you're helping your precinct's cause, you're not.
Hey, sexy. You ready to go?
Oh, it's my goddaughter.
What?
Which was your favourite scene? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more.